Welcome to another Ikoria draft deck build and gameplay video. So this deck's really sweet. I really wanted to draft a Vigilance tribal deck in this format, and I haven't really found the pieces until today. I first picked Fronland Felidar, went head in, and actually got second pick Keensight Mentor and fourth pick Keensight Mentor, and knew this was going to be a good one. And I ended up picking up these Alert Heatbonders in packs 2 and 3, and I'm really excited for the games. Things to note about this deck are that Keensight Mentor and these Vigilance decks. So these Vigilance decks don't require Frontland Felidar. You can play this deck. The Heatbonders and the Keensight Mentors are really powerful without the rare, and the deck is still quite good. This Mentor is kind of the only one that's really good because it only costs 2 to activate, and it has a kind of a better stat line than a lot of the other ones at 1-4 for 3 mana. The other thing about this Mentor is that you don't care that much if you're putting a Vigilance counter on a creature. You kind of just want all your creatures to already have Vigilance. But in this deck, both of these Brushwags, as well as this Helicard Glider, Cub Warden, and Greater Sandworm can all accept the Vigilance counter, as can the Flycatcher Giraffids if Reach counters are put on them to begin with. The other cool thing is that I'm running 3 copies of Flycatcher Giraffid, and I expect them to be great in this deck, as I have 5 cards amongst the Fronland Felidar, the 2 Keensight Mentors, and the 2 Alert Heatbonders. They want me to play as many cards that have Vigilance as possible. So I don't think I've ever cast this card, and I'm excited to have 3 of them in my deck. And I think that's really cool when cards can go way up in value in specific decks in a format. Other cards that I expect to perform really well in this deck: Survivor's Bond. I'm running 2 out of the 3 that I ended up drafting. I drafted the first one pretty highly after getting 2 Keensight Mentors in the first 4 picks. And I have 2 Keensight Mentors and 2 Alert Heatbonders that are really important and powerful for my deck, that are humans, and everything else except a Checkpoint Officer is non-human, including my Frontland Felidar, Cub Warden, things like that. I can also cycle this Greater Sandworm to be able to Survivor's Bond for 2 things, because the card's really not great if it gets you 1, and it really is if it gets you 2, especially if one of those 2 cards you get back is kind of one of these Mentors or Heatbonders, like the most important cards for the synergy of your deck. Other than that, the only things to note are I'm running 1 Ram through. I think that it'll be all right, but I don't have a ton of like these are 1/4s naturally, 2/4s. These main servals are 1/4s, so I have a few cards with 3 power here that could be good enough, but I'm leaving 2 Ram throughs in the board for now. I always like to main a Wilt, but I have another in the board, and I'm running Flycatcher Giraffid over Gigantha because of the Vigilance synergy, which also, again, feels really cool to prefer this card that I've never played over, a 5-mana 5/5 that can help you do other stuff. And then the same thing goes for, I'm not companioning Gigantha simply for the Alert Heatbonders. I think they're quite good. They do everything the deck wants. They have Vigilance naturally. And I expect that this deck will be better not running Gigantha and having 2 Alert Heatbonders. Even if it's not, that's what I want to do. It's more fun. And I'm really excited to play these games. Let's get into it. So we'll take the play. I'll keep this. Lands and spells, both colors. Nothing to do on turns 1 and 2. Little concerning, but our opponent plays Mountain, Island. So we have this Blade Banish. That's nice to have for that. Let's just get Heat Bonder out there. Opponent is on the full teamer with Marmoset. This deck is excellent against a lot of the cycling shenanigans, although this one's playing green, which is interesting. Get this Goriak out there. Pass the turn. There's no free cycling cards in the format, so I probably should have bluffed with the Seed Bonder. It's a free attack. Ooh, Riel. That card is real good. Alright, so here, get this out. Definitely want to give it flying, because we don't need to block, so we can race flyer. Next turn we get this Mentor out, give the Glider Vigilance. So they've shown us Ominous Seas and Reptilian Reflection. That second Wilt is definitely coming in. Play out this before attacks. Get in for 2 in the air. Go up to 28. Opponent cycles their Dranith Stinger. That's not how they're going to win this game. Oh, something I should have noted in the deck construction discussion is that I saw no copies of Solid Footing. That's a really great trick in decks that have like main Serval and a bunch of cards with Vigilance, and it's really bad outside of that. And this is the deck for it, and yet I didn't see any copies of it. It's probably, it's almost definitely better than Ram Through in this sort of deck. Opponent cycles some stuff. Alright, they get rid of our Keen Sight Mentor. Wish we had this Blade Banish up to respond to that, but that's okay. We've got 2 copies of Survivor's Bond in our deck, and there's one of them. So get in for 2 in the air. I'm not going to cast Survivor's Bond until this Helica Glider or Moscow Goriak dies. Not afraid. Play out my land because I can draw 2 creatures from my graveyard and maybe double spell that way, or triple spell. Opponent makes their 8/8. So we still haven't seen what the green is for. Lots of triggers here. Alright. Opponent attacking. So can double block Reptilian Reflection, Blade Banish the... Alright, so we're going to double block like this. Give our opponent a chance to do that. And then we can just take the 8, or we can cast Blade Banish here. So I'm fine casting the Blade Banish. Alright. Now we have Survivor's Bond to get back both Helica Glider and the Mentor. Fronland Felidar. Do we need to get that out this turn? Yeah, that's pretty powerful. I think we want to play that. We can play that. We can tap something with Goriak and Survivor's Bond. So that seems good. In fact, I'm going to leave up the white mana because this deck often runs Solid Footing. Go ahead and pass. Okay, the power of this card mostly is not in it being a 3/5. So, Capture Sphere, not really doing as much. Opponents tapped out, they have a... So, basically we could tap their 4-power creature, but that opens us up to 5 damage. So we don't want to tap before they attack. They still attack with everything. So we get to eat this. And we may as well tap. That's free. So I think we want to run Wilt out instead of trying to be greedy with just with let's see. It only has 4, it'll go up to 5 naturally. Cycling 1 card draws them 2. Yeah, I think it seems greedy to not just do this. Play this out. The flyer again. Got 2 mana up. In case we want to use these tappers. Plays Pyroceratops. Alright. We still haven't seen any green, right? I'm kind of expecting the 6/6 trample rare that makes the trample tokens. Or possibly the ultimatum. So tapping does what here? Yeah, we'll tap that because blocks on it aren't safe. Tap that, tap that. They have 2 1/1s they don't want to attack with. Alright. So we can cast Sandworm. Kind of want to get this Mentor into play. Hit the opponent for 2 in the air. Pass the turn. We're going to cast this out. Let's not cycle it. Opponent goes to combat. Yeah, we'll just tap, 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 tap. We pass. And see, this rammed through, because I have the Felidar, is okay, but if I didn't, none of these creatures are good fighters, except I get to activate this now, so that kind of changes that. So again, we're not playing the Sandworm yet. We have Vigilance, so we can attack. Opponent blocking. Okay. And yeah, we'll just end the turn. We could have activated Keen Sight. Would have got 1 more damage. Had 1 less blocker. Yeah. Capture that you know, that shows how Capture Sphere can not be a removal spell that you really are happy with. So we definitely want the second Wilt against both those enchantments. Ram through is really good if we have our 3-power creatures, but if we don't, then we'd rather have something like Springjaw Trap, which is interesting. So, what do we cut? I like the double Survivor's Bond. I think if we have Heat Bonders sitting in play, we can't lose, basically. So I could cut. I think I could just trim this Greater Sandworm. The fact that it cycles makes it fine if I draw it early, but I don't know about these Brushwags, I guess. I liked them as something that can pick up this counter. It's not very important at all. If I would think I would definitely rather have more main servals than Brushwags, but since I don't, it's kind of like a way to get there for more Vigilance creatures. So cards I'm considering are Springjaw Trap and Ram Through. I really like Blade Banish. They showed us the 8/8, they showed us the 5/4. The Marmoset usually has 4 power. We have Swallow Whole, but even if they're not attacking us, if they're not attacking us, they're not winning. And if they are not attacking us, we have at least 2 ways to tap it down. I'm going to play the deck like this. But yeah, as we saw in that last game, I wasn't really mentioning it, but that Heat Bonder, just gaining life. We're still at 20, and our opponent's just throwing everything they got at us. I don't love this hand. Again, it's got lands and spells, but it doesn't have any 1s or 2s or even 3s that you want to play, so I'm going to mulligan. And we'll keep this. Happy we got this main serval. Put a 5 back. And we got something to do on 1 with our tap land even. So now we have a nice 1, 2, and we drew into a 3. Opponent playing double island. Might have Essence Scatter here. Nope. There's a Marmoset. Happily Swallow Whole that. Represent solid footing there. Opponent attacks, we're not blocking. Opponent doesn't attack, we're still attacking. Alright, play more main servals. Just hang out between our wall of toughness. We have 12 toughness in play. Opponent passes, this time with a bunch of mana up. So I'm less interested in attacking. I don't know, I think less important here. Oh, with 5 mana up. Maybe I shouldn't even cast Keensight Mentor, that's great Shark mana. Capture Sphere doing a much better job on Keensight Mentor and keeping us from getting it back with Survivor's Bond. Shows us another Raking Claws. There we go. Now we can use this Swallow Hole. Draw a Cub Warden. Cost double white to mutate. Alright. Get our attacks in first. Get our counter there. Not really relevant, but trying to put a +1/+1 counter here is a little better because then they'd both have a counter on them, which stops the black 2-mana removal spell, the uncommon, that either removes 3 counters or destroys a creature with no counters. So opponent has Keep Safe. Okay, opponent gets in for 5. Looks like we drew another land, that's good. And so we want the 2/1/1s with Cub Warden. So we'll mutate it onto a main serval. That makes sure it also has Vigilance. If we attack, we trade with Spell Eater Wolverine. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. It was Cloud Piercer's first strike because it was a Marmoset. Yeah. An attack with Cub Warden. So we got the Survivor's Bond. We don't have a human in the yard. It's cool as you can mutate onto these as well, if you need to. I'd rather put it on main serval, but opponent finds Riel. I have Memory Leak, but just as a card that cycles. Definitely going to chump at this point. Half our life total. Alright. So, do we get back Cub Warden? What happens next turn? Probably want to chump again. Don't really want to chump again. Trade all of these for Riel. Feels better than chumping. Only have 1 card left. If we can play both these Giraffids, then we have good blocks on Cloud Piercer. Only if their hand's empty, though, because it's a Marmoset. That Keep Safe was a little unexpected. Go ahead and rebuy this Cub Warden. Don't know if we'll draw a land next turn or not. So we need to have a play. Riel's sweet. Opponent doesn't do anything. We drew a tapped land. Do I even mutate Cub Warden? I don't think so. I have 7 mana. I chose not to attack. Okay. Ram through. So at 6 mana we can ram through with a 4-power creature. I'm gonna pass. Not casting all this open mana again. Okay. So if they make that, yeah, I don't have good blocks. I feel like they could have been attacking. Alright. Just chump away there. Spell Eater Wolverine. See, none of our creatures even have 1 power. Wow. Alright. So they've tapped below 5 at least, so I'm a lot more comfortable casting a creature. That being said, yes, yeah. I'm going to mutate this onto Brushwag and cast Ram Through. Brushwag or Serval? I think having that pump ability on my lifelinker. Okay, so they did have a counter spell, but it was not the one I was playing around. Well, this doesn't look very good at all. That's something to remember though. One has Neutralize. The second Cloud Piercer. Yeah, opponent has a 6, 7, and a 5, and that's a lot of damage. I don't think I'm getting out of this. So that's 13 if I don't block either of those. This can cycles. They cycle twice. This is going to go up in power as well. This goes up faster. One cycle is at 7. This is at 8. Probably. I don't know. I don't think there's anything I can do here to come back. Probably running too many 5-drops maybe. But also just this ram through. Like, I really, like, this ram through only needs to do 2 damage to be good against this opponent. But with this draw specifically, it's not doing that. So I play Keensight Mentor, and then I can't fight anything. Yeah. Alright. Opponent has at least 2 stingers. We're just giving the opponent the opportunity to show us more of their deck, or to be scared and not attack for some reason, or forget to attack. I don't know. I guess if they forgot to attack. But yeah, so they're going to loot a card, which means they're going to discard something. There's land, so that doesn't show us anything. We still don't know what the green is for. Alright, so that was countered our removal spell and drew a card when they did it. And their board, it's just a little too hard to come back from. Light of Hope. We have double wilt. They have Reflection and Omen. And Capture Sphere. I'm actually digging this Light of Hope too. I think I'm going to cut down on a Giraffid. Shave the top of my curve some more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15, 15 creatures still. These cycle. Yeah, so much of my deck only has 1 power. Not sure if I should even run a single ram through in the main. I think it's right. This Springjaw trap could be good, but I would need 5 mana. I was kind of short on lands a little bit last game. Yeah, I think this is fine. I should have noticed that Light of Hope after game 1. Capture Sphere did so little in game 1 that I kind of forgot that it was an enchantment. I'll keep this because it's got the best card in our deck, Wilt, which is very good against them. That can also cycle. Drawing a ton of lands. I'm going to pass. So if I cycle Wilt and draw another land, that's a lot worse. Let's hope they just play Ominous Seas. That Dranith Stinger. So we have 2 other ways to destroy enchantments in our deck. We can't really not try to hit something to do on 3. I swear our deck has, 2 1-drops, 3 2-drops. So thankfully we drew this Wilt for that reflection. I think, yeah. Reflection's strong enough that I think I just want to wilt it away after they cycle to turn it on. Although, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll wait for them to cycle. Oh, they've tapped out of blue. But we can respond to the trigger. So we'll still do it now, even though it's not necessary. But we'll respond to the trigger so they can't keep safe it because it's not a creature yet. So we really need a Heat Bonder against this. To draft it out. Vigilance. So that doesn't do too much, as they don't want to attack into my 3/5 here. Sucks that this is basically a 6-power creature that I can't Blade Banish, but now we've got to tap. So I was correct, they're splashing Quartzwood Crasher. It's always nice to call something like that, and I'm much happier being correct on calling that with a clean answer to it, as well as the ability to tap it. So I'll play Goriak. I'm just going to play the Blade Banish, partially because of the keep safe. And we have this Light of Hope. Another reason to cycle Wilt, because Light of Hope can't cycle. And we could draw too many answers and they wouldn't draw their enchantments. Yeah, we're going to pass and then tap their stuff on the end of their turn, and then we get to attack next turn. So they stack up here. We get to play Light of Hope as the +1/+1 counter. So that's really good for us. Yeah, Light of Hope, really versatile card that all the modes aren't super powerful. So we'll do the same thing. I'd rather them chump block with Dranith Stinger than the 1/1. left all their mana up. I'm just going to pass the turn, not plan to neutralize. Cast Frost Links. It's fine. Again, Felidar is the one that I'm least interested in getting into combat. Let's assume that these Spell Eater Wolverines have double strike. They have a lot of cycling in their deck. So they've kept up Essence Scatter Mana here. But I have 2 threats and I can run them both out. I would rather Mentor get countered, I think. Although my opponent only has 5 life. Regardless, let's attack. Opponent can put 5 power on one of these creatures if they really want to. So we can tap after declaring attackers. Opponent has to block one of them. Alright, so clear those as attackers. Tap the 1/1, so if they have to block. So if they're chumping, they have to chump with a 2/2 and not a 1/1. Opponent goes to 2. Play out Mentor. Play out Heedbonder. And we can hold this land. We have so many in play. Alright, awesome. That was mostly on the back of our rare. But you know, our Frontland Felidar wouldn't be as good if we didn't build around it. So, that's sweet. Did I want to make any permanent changes after seeing how that played? I will remember this Light of Hope. That was good. That should have been in Game 2. This one ram through. It should be fine, but it's not like I'm not going to want to cast it till after like turn 5 at the earliest. So I don't know if I should have something else instead. I lowered my curve in that match, but I don't think I want to overall. Yeah, I think I'll keep this. Nimsy. Alright, we'll be on the play. We will definitely keep this. We really need to draw a land, but this curve looks excellent. And we have a 2-drop that we can play. And it's the kind of 2-drop that can block, you know, some 4-drops. So. Double Heedbonder. Please, lands. Can draw lands for the rest of the game and be happy. Any land, yes. That's a tap land. Still means we get to Heedbonder next turn. We do have 2 tap lands in our deck. Perfect mana though. This opponent also on Teamer. Although the last opponent was red, blue, splash, green. This one may not be. 2 mana Gust of Wind is really good. So I'm pretty sure I just want to get this out. Not too worried about it getting removed with the double Survivor's Bond, another copy in hand. They use removal on that, they're not using it on Felidar. Frenzied Raptor. I've had some like success If your plan is to get a threat into play and then keep your opponent from being able to block, then stuff like Frenzied Raptor can get there. That being said, it dies to a lot of stuff, including Ram Thief, which is what I'm gonna do, but on the Sprite Dragon. Yeah. I'm not gonna offer the trade. Surely they'll attack, I won't block, but we're going to gain enough life, that won't matter. Double Frenzied Raptor, because knowing they have 2 changing here. Yeah, I would love to draw some lands still. So I play Heedmonder, I gain 2 life, go to 16, then take 8, go to 8. Then what next? If I draw... I mean, okay, yeah. I'm planning to not block again. Opponent is on Mono Frenzied Raptor? Okay. Am I just supposed to... don't think I'm supposed to trade both of these away. I don't really think I'm supposed to trade either of them away. It's weird with these huge life point swings. Well, that's quite good, and I should play main serval. So, if I put the counter on Heedbonder, then it is more likely to get removed. And it's already a card the opponent should want to remove. I don't have another Ram through, so having 3 power doesn't matter. These are all 4/2s. Yeah, I think everything's stacking up to want me to split my resources here a little and put the +1, make the main circle another blocker. This opponent has keep safe too. Opponents, stop having keep safe. Alright. But now that now that we haven't sacrificed our Heedbonders, we get to play with this main serval and gain 6 life. How can they do 4 extra damage if I don't block? That is 0 extra damage, but sets me way back. Not drawing any lands here has been really, really awful. Are they really bouncing my tapped 2-drop? Okay, if I draw a land, I get to double spell, whereas if you tap... okay. I wasn't gonna chump either way. Maybe that's what they were thinking. This is such a weird game. Okay, I don't think there's anything that hurts me from attacking into blue-blue. Land. Main serval. Seems like they might have an Essence Scatter. Maybe not. Maybe they just have a cycling card or something. Gain 8 life. Plan to double block with 2 main servals. They did have a cycling card. They have the crystal. This opponent with 4 Frenzied Raptors. Never been seen before. Don't try this at home. They couldn't kill me putting me to 4 life last time. And this trades a single main serval away. Sure. We're playing with fire, but Heedbonder is awesome. Felidar lets me tap I'm obviously playing Giraffe or Felidar. Felidar plus tap versus... I think... So I'm going to gain at least 6 life. And if I have to block with the Heat Bonders, it's not the end of the world. I think they might have a counter for this. I'd rather that be countered than the Felidar. Do have the counter spell. So again, much happier that got countered. This is ridiculous. Alright, opponent has a second Sprite Dragon. So this block leaves me at 1 life. And with a main serval in play. The other block is a chump and stay at 1 life and have 2 Heat Bonders in play. So let's say I do chump. I go like that. Chump, my opponent doesn't have anything. My opponent could easily mutate or cast any spell to make Sprite Dragon hit for 2. So I'm going to block like this. I'm going to draw Cub Warden. So if I play Cub Warden, opponent blocks or attacks for 1 in the air, I'm going to gain 4 life, I'll go to 5. Cub Warden's in play. Their attacks aren't very good. They could easily bounce it, which would cause me to lose. If I play something like Giraffe and then give it reach, I'll only gain 4 life. But I'll have a blocker for Sprite Dragon. Or if I play Felidar, I don't want to tap with Felidar because I want to use it as a blocker. Cub Warden. Alright, I'm going to play Giraffe. And I'm going to give it reach. Again, we're playing with fire here. We've been on the brink this entire time. They could easily mutate onto Shore Shark, cast a removal spell. They could just make this a 4/4 with the 1 and a blue cycler. Makes it base 4/4, but it's also a spell, so you get a +1/+1 counter that'd be 5 in the air. Or they could do what they did, which was mutate onto it with a green card when it looks like they're splashing green. So it looks like they're splashing for fixing, which is interesting. So now we finally are required to trade Heat Bonders off, but we have a 3/5 reach to block their 3/4. And so if I mutate Cub Warden, then I get to hit for 3 lifelink. What else can I do? I kind of really want this lifelink. Having no cards with Vigilance means that Felidar can't tap the turn I play it. I can play this, I can give my creature Vigilance. Yeah, that's the route I'm going to take. Almost assuredly cycling Wilt on their turn. Okay, again, we're on the brink here. Opponent can attack, our creatures will just bounce. Let's cycle this. Now we find our lands. Alright, so Cub Warden attack or Fronland Felidar tap. Let's put it under so it's easier to forget. Play that attack. We will activate the Mentor because we have 3 blockers anyway. Alright, so now I think we've kind of got this. What a weird game. Alright, so thankfully we have Fronland Felidar because I don't have 12 damage on board. This is, 7 damage on board. But we've got Fronland Felidar. We'll play it out. Make sure we're not going to tap Mentor because, well, I can only tap with this, so we are going to tap Mentor. Because I only have one, this is summoning sickness. So if they play a 5/5 haster, we've got this to block with. They play Genesis Ultimatum. Okay. So I didn't say this earlier, but usually when I see crystals and tricolor decks like that, Ultimatum's kind of the first thing I think of. They got a bunch of lands, some card, and a Great Horn that's summoning sick. Alright. So we tap their 25/26 creature. So there's more green mana. Maybe they're not. It just really feels like they're a red-blue deck that's splashing Great Horn. And it's basically never right to splash fixing. So yeah, that was strange. Most of the opponent's creatures are 4/2s. Or little flyers. This is another deck where Ram Through seems like a good card, but so many of ours don't even have, like, we just have too many things that have 1 power. It makes me kind of nervous. So they didn't show us anything for Wilt. I'm going to go ahead and sideboard it out. I am going to put another Ram Through there because it feels like it should be good with so many 4/2s, and I have a lot of my creatures at least have 2 power. I have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures that naturally have 1 power. Which, they do have Sprite Dragons, so maybe that could come up. Anything else? It seems like if I just play any of these cards, their 4/2s don't do anything anymore. So the other Ram Through and the Springjaw Trap are the other cards I'm looking at. Ton of 4/2s, like this will always have targets, although spending 4 mana to kill a 3-drop isn't that great. Yeah, if I can get a single counter on these, that's such a great blocker too. Alright, yeah. Yeah, the one deck that I drafted where I played Frenzied Raptor was a Kahira deck, and I had a couple of them in there. And I had really good removal in that deck. I feel like it's kind of hard to get enough cards with the right creature types, but I was getting a couple Fire Prophecies and a Flame Spill, I think. And so there was a game where I just stuck a 4/2 and killed all their blockers and killed them really quickly. Can't keep this one lander. Can keep this. I think I'm putting, yeah, I'll put Survivor's Bond back. It's more of a later in the game kind of card. Survivor's Bond does make me happier trading off with their 4-2s. Which, I mean, their 4-2s are gonna trade most of the time. That's the other thing. With all these 1-power creatures, though, I guess they don't trade with those. Start with the tap land. Really want to draw Serval, Brushwag, Officer. Opponent 3 islands in a row, pass. I don't mind if they counter this. Okay. Swing for 1. It looks like they're stuck on colors. I probably should have gave this first strike against a bunch of 4-2s, huh? I mean, I like having it as a flyer as well. Go ahead and get in there for 3. Just gonna run this guy out. Seems like they don't have any interaction. Okay, there we go. So they'll be able to do something next turn, but I think it's a little too late. So now we get to really start doing the sweet stuff. Give that Vigilance. Pump those up. Smash. Now these Mentors can just put 2 counters on a turn. So next turn we're attacking with a 5/5 flyer and a 6/8 on the ground. Five flyer, 6/8 on the ground, or we can just, you know, kill them. I guess I could have just halved too. Yeah, opponent was stuck on colors, so abundance of ways to win. Your opponent doesn't play any cards. All right, we are in the finals. This deck is sweet. Frontland Felidar has been awesome. We had that the first game of the last match where Heat Bonders just really like kept us in the game. Like, well, I don't need to trade here. I don't need to trade here. We're in the finals against Chuksan. Can't keep a 1-land hand again. Mulligan. Definitely keep this. We're either putting a 5-drop or a land back. I feel like we're supposed to put a land back. And we will put a plains back. Because we have a Greater Sandworm in our deck. Our mana is so good and our cards are so easy to cast. Sure. They are red-black. Okay. Looks like they might have the kill a creature with CMC 2 or less card, or just a cycling card in general. But see what they're thinking about here. Opponent does not cycle or cast anything. Play Coil Bug. Get our Heat Bonder out. So it looks like their Coil Bug in red-black makes me think that they might do some sort of Steel and Sack shenanigans. So we have to be conscious of if they control a creature with Menace or not. They had Heartless Act. They could have cast last turn on Checkpoint Officer and decided not to. So, just run that out. So attack first. Opponent's respecting our sweet, sweet Keen Sight Mentor. Yep. I didn't think they were wondering why we were playing it. I was pretty sure they were like, yep, I bet this card's sweet in their deck. So we're just going to give this Vigilance. We're just mono Giraffed hand. So opponent has great removal, which if they show us enough great removal, I could be convinced to put a third Survivor's Bond in, but not yet. Trade Giraffed for Rumbler, that's fine. Again, I should be attacking before I play my cards. So if they're fine with this trade, they know that it's going to happen. We want to put a non-human creature in our graveyard too, so that's another reason that this is a good trade to make. First strike, Death Touch, that's a heck of a combo. So I wonder if they also have a Porky Parrot in their deck. It's a really powerful combination with the Hemophage as well. It took a long time to decide what to put on top, even though it's completely irrelevant. They're both base 3/3, so it's which picture do you like more? No blacks. Deadweight there is really good. I was just thinking, well, it's fine if you attack with that. We have good. We can just keep tapping it down from then on. Thing is, I don't think they want to attack with it. That's like a super blocker. But just play another Giraffed. I think this. Oh, we can't play Serval and Mentor, which means I just want to use all my mana. I could make one of these have reach. I don't think I am worried about the skies. I'm worried about the card that just gets to sit there and make it so none of invalidates all of my 3/5/5s. But yet they're attacking with it. I know it's going to hit me for 6 here, but then I get to hit them for 9, or at least 6. I can chump with the Serval next turn. Still not sure about attacking. They might jump here. Maybe they're thinking, oh no, maybe I should have blocked. Maybe not. Alright, so if I'm going to jump with something, I'd rather be the Serval than the Mentor. Or the Serval than the Giraffed as well. Alright, well, I'm not going to let them put me to 1, so we get to put them to 1 if they don't play anything, which they don't. Okay. Opponent built the best blocker ever and then attacked with it every turn. Right? Okay. So now this is lethal in the air. We got one card in hand, and the one on the top of their deck. They need to at least kill Helica Glider. Alright, so they do, yeah, this opponent has excellent removal. I will give them that. Yeah, look at all that sweet, sweet removal. If they attack, I'm not going to block. They have to find 1 point of damage there to kill me. So they have Luris. What the heck? Looks like maybe they just couldn't quite get there on Luris. The cards that they're running that can't go in Luris aren't great, though. Alright, so we attack with our 3/5, they chump with Coilbug. Right? Okay. Let's get that out of the way. So Luris was a really good draw. Because it's got lifelink and because it puts a deadweight into play as well. I can double block. Considering it. I just get to play Coilbug for free. Or my internet. Or something. Come on. Sorry for the difficulties. Hopefully we don't have to worry about this again. Hopefully our turn is still going. Okay. So now we want to Survivor's Bond. Getting 2 cards back. Getting Heedbonder. Heedbonder gains 3. We still have to chump. Checkpoint Officer. It's probably better, but then we can't chump with this 1/3. I gotta choose quickly. No, no, no! Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? Come on. Again, I'm sorry about this. Guarantee you I'm more frustrated than you are watching this. Okay. Take the tapper, take the flyer. Alright, so I can play out the tapper, but I can't chump block with the 1/3 then. I need to put this... I need to put the tapper into play. I can't put the tapper into play. I don't know. I'm sure I messed that up. The disconnecting... you don't have any cards you can play in your graveyard other than that opponent. And it shows it there. This Blade Banish looks really bad against this opponent. Assuming they're trying to make Luris work. Opponent attacks with Luris here? Really? Well, that means I can chump block, right? Unless they lose their... Well, they have to attack with Luris. Because I can just chump and hit them in the air. Okay. They probably should have thought of that, but... Alright, so we'll block like that. Now, the dead weight doesn't matter. Now we can play this out, tap and hit them. I really don't like if they have a removal spell here. Alright, what a game. Ugh. Those disconnects were really... I did not like that. Alright, again, opponent playing... Third opponent in a row playing a deck that Ram Through should be good against. Ram Through only doing 2 to 3 damage should be good against, and I still have 7 cards that want to deal 1. I should stop bringing it up, but I won't. So we're cutting Wilt for, again, either Springjaw Trap, Ram Through, or Survivor's Bond. Opponent showed us 5 great removal spells. If you just draw too many Survivor's Bonds, though, that's like the end of you. So it's kind of tough to want to run 3. This is absurd. I'm going to keep fighting through this because I want to record this deck. I think it's one of the coolest decks I've drafted in this format. So I don't know if that automatically submitted. No, it got me back here. Okay. So again, cut the Wilt and the Blade Vanish and put in Survivor's Bond, Ram Through. Should Ram Through be a Springjaw Trap? Luris can be so good, I just really want it gone, you know? Deadweight is not very good against just in general. There's 3 cards it can hit. Checkpoint Officer just happens to be the best one of them. I don't love Brushwag in this deck, I really don't. I feel like Fully Grown is also good when your opponent's casting Rumbling Rock Slides and the like on you. Maybe I'll play that instead of a Survivor's Bond. I'll just run it like this. Yeah, of course. We're gonna draw these Ram Throughs and they're gonna look awful. Keep this hand, putting back a Brushwag. So opponent just didn't quite get there on their Luris deck. They're drawing their more Luris-y cards here. Main Circle, excellent against their start. Throws out a trap. It's fine. So well, Swallow Hope doesn't answer Luris anyway. Sure, we won't trade Brushwag for a Scorpion. Opponent has Fire Prophecy. Okay. I'm going to run this Swallow Hole out for a few reasons. Making this Brushwag into a 2-2 is one of them, for sure. Opponent's stuck on 2. They even got to draw an extra card here. Maybe they got greedy with the number of lands in their deck. Or maybe we just got lucky here. can't mutate Cub Warden, it's double white, right? I don't want to attack because I really want to play one of these cards. I think it's a waste of mana not to. I guess this Cub Warden, if I get ahead on life, I'm already ahead on having bigger creatures than theirs. So I don't feel very threatened if I get to get a few attacks on this Cub Warden. Of course, I draw the second white source. Opponent has 4 power available to them. Attack with both. That block kind of tells me they want that card in their graveyard, which makes you think they might have Lurrus in their hand. Just, you know, don't love. If I hold up mana, they can't Springjaw Trap my Brushwag. No, I think this is more important. I don't love it, but... I'm just playing 3/5s and they're playing 1/1s and 1/2s. So they do have the Lurrus, as I guessed. We don't have removal anymore. We're at 6 lands. Do I really want to cycle a Greater Sandworm? Kinda. Got... Yeah, there's 2 ram throughs. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle this and try to find something to stop this Lurrus. Opponent can block with Lurrus, that's fine. I'd be fine with them making that trade. Trade Lurrus and a Whisper Squad for Frontland Felidar. I mean, I think they're already on the back foot, and I think they might need to do that, but I think that... Alright. They're tapped out, right? Did I really just do that? Oh my, I just threw this game. I'm sorry to anyone watching. I'm playing distracted. That was so bad. That was so bad. Just need to take a breath, and that was so bad. No. I can't believe I did that. Don't do that. Alright. Of course that gains life when it dies. Opponent gets to gain life when they attack. Yeah. Just gave them a nice clean out to get back into the game. We still are far from losing this game, but I was okay trading the Felidar for Lurrus, not for 2 Whisper Agents. Sorry, maybe that mistake will get a game 3 for this deck that possibly wouldn't have happened before. Yeah, a 7/7 worm would have been nice right now too, huh? So again, I'll attack. How much land do I have? Do I have 8 out? Yeah, I'll attack and I'll pump once. this time. Still holding up the ability to pump after a Springjaw trap is used, so I'm not pumping twice. It finally hits 4. Now they have Rock Slide, but Rock Slide only does 4, so. Sure. I mean, this became a kind of weird, grindy game. This could be cool. A removal spell on Luris changes the texture of this game quite a bit. Opponent might cast Rock Slide for 4 on Keensight Mentor here. That is what happens. So now we have Fully Grown. That's a good response to Rock Slide on Cub Warden. If they go land Rock Slide on Cub Warden. Also, I would like to Fully Grown this if I can get a card's worth of value out of it, just so it has trample. Okay. Put Luris first. Don't make the same mistake twice in the same game. I'm not, again, saving the 4 mana back to protect the Brushwag. Alright. Now I'm fairly confident again. I'm going to hold back this Heat Bonder. That's a little annoying, but they have 2 of those, right? The second one this game? First one this game, okay. What is a Hemophage? Four mana. So if I cast Ram through, then it dies to Springjaw Trap. How important is that to me? Yeah. It's alright. They can, if they take their whole turn Springjaw trapping. Again, I think our deck's just bigger than theirs. Yeah. We get a Giraffe, that's awesome. Give it the Vigilance. Go up to 25. Do we still have 3 copies of... is that card called Survivor's Bond? No, we cut the one. Alright, but we just get to attack. They have to chump. They Corpse turn back Luris. This flying. Opponent checking out what they get to cast if they cast Luris. Cast Luris and they have 3 red mana up. So they could recast this Howlbonder. No, they can't. That costs 3, not 2. They can't cast anything after they cast Luris? So strange. Their deck seems like it's got all the stuff for a good Luris deck, and then it's just got a couple bad cards that don't cost 2 or less. Weaponize is a card we're not afraid of at all with Heatbonder. So what's going to happen next turn? They still can't play Luris and Coilbug. They can't play Luris and Scorpion. I'm wondering if I have to play this card out, because these are all 3 odd cards, and there's the Black Wrath, the Exile Wrath for odd or even. But I really want to be able to win. So they drew a Swamp, so that opens up a lot of opportunities for them this turn, and then obviously they can cast all their cards in future turns. So they can play Scorpion and sack it after blocking, which puts them at 5 and blocks one of my creatures. That's still me hitting for 5. So they would still have to block with Luris if they go with that plan, which I think is their only plan, basically. I mean, it doesn't have, yeah. Because if they get Scorpion, that still means they have to block with Luris. Because otherwise that's 5 damage coming in. If they have to block with Luris, then we should just win next turn. So then we don't have to cast Heatbonder into a potential Wrath. Okay. So I will not cast the Heatbonder here. So yeah, this deck was sweet with the Frownland Felidar action. Heatbonder's gaining us a ton of life. We didn't get to activate Insight Mentors much, but our opponents respected them. They used really good removal on them. And that's awesome. Opponent gets to do. Okay. No blocks from opponent. Yeah, with 30 life, we're not afraid. Like, weaponize to control the... Yeah. Alright. So this deck was awesome. We got there. Some kind of weird games, some disconnects in the last one, some misplays on my part. But the power of the Vigilance package was pretty obvious, and I was really excited to be able to experience that myself and show it to anybody who's watching. Thanks again for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.